Pandora friends, my name is Leanne and I'm mad for Pandora. Welcome back to another video. Today, as we continue with this lovely store folder of my daughter's, I would like to share the smaller sections of it with you. So as you know, I love composed earrings and I have quite a lot of them. They're just an amazing part of Pandora history. And the best part is how you can mix and match and change it up constantly. It's so much fun to do. So this is only quite a small section, so I'm going to do a few different sections together. So hopefully you'll enjoy watching this. So these are the designers for the Composed collection. Just let you read that. And these are the amazing earrings. So I have shown a bit of this with some of the catalogs I've done. So I love these ones because they're the beaded ones. I do have those ones in silver. And then I have the beautiful ones that have the flowers. Just stunning, some of these. Definitely had a lot of gold. Just stunning, aren't they? So some of them you can actually mix and match and put more than one on at a time. Like these tiny little ones here can fit into some of the round ones. I've always wanted these. They're just so cute. I definitely had a lot of opportunities to buy these, but I never did. And I remember seeing these ones on Rue La La for a really good price, and of course I didn't get them. Now if you do buy these, the gold ones are actually smaller by the look of it than the silver one. It's very hard to tell in these pictures. And I do own these ones, which amazingly so I picked up for like $30 from a store, and they were very discontinued and I just happened to find them. But some of them have gone up a lot in price. So Pinterest is actually a good place to see pictures of people's earrings, because they often will like put them on a bar and have them so you can tell what length they are and whether they would fit together. because yeah, from pictures in catalogues it's just really hard to tell. I love these ones, they're just beautiful. And you can imagine these would fit nicely in some of those other ones. And these ones here are a lot bigger than these ones. They're quite small. But yeah, these ones have diamonds in them. Definitely a lot more expensive. I see earrings in here that I had the opportunity to buy and never did. I have these ones. And then we have all the different hooks. So yeah, these ones are the ones I've got. And I have the flower ones and the hearts, and of course the plain ones. So I think I have all the silver hooks. I have these ones. I've had lots of opportunities to buy these and never did, and now I'm thinking, I've got the pendant of that, it would have been nice. Especially since I have my beautiful necklace now. These are beautiful. Pandora sure did do a lot of different color pearls. Very stunning. And this is when my old garnet earrings came out. I have those. Okay, the next section is liquid silver. So these actually remind me of what they're calling the Essence collection now. So they were very organic sort of shapes and just really smooth and beautifully finished off. I do have a ring and a pair of earrings that are made out of this collection, and they're quite like smooth and fairly heavy and really beautiful. Okay, so these are the two designers that did the liquid silver. The camera doesn't like the lighting on that very much at all. These are the amazing pieces. So you have the wave ring, then you have a wave bangle, and then they made them like thicker or thinner. Like this really reminds me of that wide Essence ring. One they've got, I think it's in gold plated. Very, very stunning. So we have different sizes. So I'll just quickly run through those. So it does show how many mil the different sizes are. I think these ones were all round. I think these might have been my earrings. Maybe not. They're a little bit different to that. So they have these really tiny little round pendants, so almost like, I don't know, a pinky ring or something. They were very small. Definitely had some interesting shapes. This is quite cool. I've actually seen these on eBay for fairly decent prices actually. Could have picked them up quite a lot of times over the years. But now I've said that, there probably won't be any. Okay, these ones are smooth. I think it was something to do with the elements. I remember seeing these little things at one of the old Pandora stores. The only downside to this type of bangle is it has to go over your wrist, which if you have a really skinny wrist, that's fine. If your hand's small too, but it doesn't always work out. And then we have these beautiful big cuffs. I don't know that I've ever seen anyone sell these. So they're just calling them a bangle. So they're calling them fluid. But yeah, it definitely reminds me of the Essence collection now. And the size again is from 50 to 60. I would have to say this big one is probably my favorite. Pretty stunning. The next section I have is accessories. Now, I haven't really gone into any detail with watches, although I do own a few. So we have fall of 2010. So the thing about Pandora watches is they actually had a black diamond in the crown. And most of the pieces are modular. Not every watch is modular, but a lot of them were. Now I don't own any of those ones. Some of these are really nice. Pandora watches are very, very good quality, but some of the leather bands that don't last forever. I've had a few where the bands, the glue sort of come away. Whether that's something to do with storing them, I don't know. So these are pretty cool. So if you had something like this, you wouldn't have to worry about the bands. My daughter has this watch, it's very nice. There's the gold plated version. I have found the gold plating to last quite well. Of course it depends how you look after it. These are very tiny. And then we have the components to some of the other watches. So you've got Imagine Grand, like these ones actually have diamonds. So you can see the price, how much that varies, depending on whether you get ones with diamonds or not. And these just screw on. This one's really pretty. So it's got little black diamonds by the look of that. And then you've got all your different leather bands. I think the ones with the stitching would last better. You can see how this bit here and this bit here just goes onto the face. Some are in silver and some are in gold. Of course, you can always mix and match. So in the back of the folder, there is a section that's information. Some of it relates to the Pandora store and some of it relates to just how to care for your jewelry. So I thought I'd go through it and slow down for the bits that might be helpful. So I don't think there's anything on this page. It's just dealing with their repairs and alterations and all that. So I won't worry about this page. I did notice on the back of this other page, it just sort of gives a bit of advice. It says about bracelets that they do stretch over time, and that's not a manufactured fault. And basically saying not to roll it off your wrist, to make sure you undo it. My first bracelet was so stretched it used to fall off my wrist when I lost a bit of weight. It says to spread the weight evenly with the beads. That's why the clip stations are great, and you should always put clip-on clips on the clip stations. And obviously you shouldn't put non-Pandora charms on your Pandora bracelet, especially while it's in warranty. And if a charm gets stuck, that usually happens because you haven't used clips, and you should never force it. You can take it to a jeweler or a Pandora store, depending on whether it's in warranty or not. You can quickly read some of these things. But yeah, a big reason for putting clips on clip stations is to protect that little screw mechanism, and that's another reason to have a safety chain or clips so things can't run up and down on that. And basically just keep an eye on everything, check them regularly. the oxidization that they used to use on the old Pandora bracelets, they just wore off over time. Now, as far as cleaning goes, I know Pandora's got a great cleaning kit now, but what I've always done is just use a little bit of, say, Morning Fresh or whatever you want to use, and just put a little bit of that in warm water and use a soft toothbrush, and you can just, you know, rub any loose parts off, and then get a really good polishing cloth. And you can get a silver one or a gold one depending on what you have. Now, if you've got plated jewelry, you can't use a normal polishing cloth for that. Now, since I've got pearls now, well, a decent pearl necklace, I've sort of been looking into how to store it. And it actually says don't keep it in plastic, which is weird because it actually, my Pandora Me necklace came in a plastic bag. So I've taken that out, and they say to clean it with a soft cloth before you put it away. So I'm yet to start doing that. I've only worn it a couple of times, so it should be fine, but it's also saying to let it breathe and not have it in a sealed container. So it's interesting to see what Pandora says about pearls. The problem is with the sterling silver clips, so I'm not sure. I'll just have to clean them regularly so they don't get tarnished. So it just says try not to get exposed to water and cleaning agents. They must only be cleaned with a soft brush or a cloth. And then leather, it's saying that you can use a leather specific cream. And you can put that on straight away. So I don't think I've ever done that with mine. And definitely don't go in chlorine or salt water with your jewelry on. Avoid contact with makeup, creams, perfumes. You're not supposed to take a bath or shower with your jewelry on. I guess that depends on what products you use, how bad that is. Definitely no pearls or precious stones anyway, or even the plated jewelry. I wouldn't be wearing it in the shower. Shouldn't really even sleep with that sort of thing on. And tarnishing will happen, but you just polish it off. It's not that big a deal. Now this is the part I really wanted to share because it's got all the codes for a lot of the jewelry that Pandora used to use. So they used to always use genuine stones, except one exception, zirconia, which is synthetic diamond-like stone. So they've got all the codes for that. So you can refer back to this whenever you want as part of the video, or take a screenshot on your phone. But they used so many. And then this section here just says about the different stones as well. definitely information on here that I had no idea about, and I haven't even like fully read it all. Okay, now this is a charm that I've seen lots of people lose the little hearts out of, and that's because they've had them wet. Pandora's old jewelry did not like being wet if it had the glue, which is another reason you should never wash your Muranos or essence charms, the old essence charms. Actually is quite damaging, anything that's got any form of glue, and that's just from experience. Now, I thought this was so fascinating, I wanted to share it with you. Like, this is all about their pearls. Like, look how many different colors there are. At the start of the book, I showed you some little thin pearl necklaces, and they were in all different colors, and I think a lot of them were used from that. So many of them. And it's also saying about their little ropes and things, not to wear it in the water, and the cotton strings, all the leathers. It actually shows you what to do or what not to do. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all these little different sections in the book. It's some stuff you'll just skip through and you won't even want to read it or any of that. Other parts you might find very interesting. I thought there was some good information in there. I wanted to include it all, even though some of it might be a bit boring. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed having a look through my daughter's beautiful folder, and until next time, take care.